All Blacks march on to the final. They get the opportunity to be the first nation to win 4 Rugby World Cup titles. 4 Rugby World Cup titles. An absolute clinic in the semi. 44-6 over Argentina. We kind of all expected it. I said it was either going to be a tight one or it was going to break loose. Um, but what I think it does it bring us back to the whole how the pools were picked. Like almost wanted the last week's game to be the semi, like a 44-6 in a semi-final of a Rugby World Cup. Man, that's either that shows the dominance of All Blacks at the moment or kind of how the pools have picked. But again, I'm not going to harp on that. That's for the higher ups to deal with. You play what's in front of you, and All Blacks did that tonight. Geez, where do I start? I think they absorbed. They do so well at absorbing pressure and turning then defense into attack. Is that many? Especially in the first bit, the first 10 minutes or so. Argentina were hounding at them, phase off building phases nicely. I thought at one stage that Carreras, the fly off for Argentina, probably not going with the best option there to do a little grubber kick in the first bit of play. They put up about 8 or 10 phases right in the All Blacks 20. And that kind of like set the tone for, especially firstly for All Blacks defense, and then for the All Blacks in seeing what Argentina have for them on attack. And not much, man. When All Blacks are defending like that so well, keeping their width on defense, everyone coming up together and making strong one-on-one tackles, it's hard to get through, man. And then you kind of are limited at 10 in your options. And All Blacks do so well at turning defense into attack. So they defend their asses off, and when they do get the ball back, they do so well at their width, keeping their width and depth, playing swap or changing the point of attack from one side of the field, going to the other side, making heaps of meters. And then when they do make a line break, they do so well at being patient. So many times you'll see teams make a line break and their first thing is, oh, we need to get that ball. We need to get that ball, where All Blacks will first make sure we set the ruck. We win that ruck. First 2 players at the ruck go over the ball, secure the ball, and then the next few, whoever it is there, sometimes it's not even the halfback, will just pick up a prop, will even pick up there and play that first pass, and they'll spread the ball. Obviously, Will Jordan, a standout. What 3 tries. I said in the pre-match that Will Jordan and Mark Talia were going to be important for All Blacks because they're going to get opportunities and they need these guys to finish. And Will Jordan, man, his awareness on the field of space and of defenders in front of him, his peripheral vision around that when he's got the ball in hand running in open space. So many players can get tunnel vision, where he knows exactly where everyone is, where the space is. That third try of his, to know not to just chip it straight ahead, but to chip it more to the right, the chip kick, because he had Argentinian players coming from the left. And then his pace can back it up, and speed can help you out so much. And he uses his speed to his advantage so well. I think they did really well in especially in the first 20 minutes, absorbing pressure from the Argentinians. But when they did get down into the 22 attacking wise, All Blacks do really well at sucking in their opposition's defenders. So they have their lots of carries off the 9 or just the pick and drives. They suck that defense in, but then they do really well at knowing when to go wide, holding their depth and width, and then executing those wide plays for then. Maybe it is the over-the-top ball, but they have from that had back plays. So hitting a front runner, he plays someone out the back. Then there's the overloop skip pass. And Will Jordan to finish. You got him on the outside to finish. He doesn't need much space or opportunity. You got someone like Mark Talia come back into the squad, and how effective he is around the ruck. He doesn't just stay on his wing. He comes in to look for work around ruck time. And he's so good at beating defenders around there. We'll pick the ball up from 9 and just start stepping guys. Like he does Formula Kisses, he does backflips, he does forward flips, he does twists. It's like he's the back in the 80s they had the roller skater dancing in the hall. Did they? I think they did. I've seen it in some movies. I think Mark Talia was there back then because he does really well at beating defenders around ruck time. I'll give some credit to Argentina. Like they kept coming at the All Blacks. No matter what the score blew out to be, they just kept, whenever they did get the ball, they were trying really hard. I think it was just one hill too steep for them. I feel like they kind of played their final last week against Wales. That was kind of their breakthrough. I mean, again, I did not expect them to make it this far in the World Cup. So they've done really well to get to their semi-final. And I do think they'll then grow an extra leg to play in that third or fourth playoff next week. Because for them, they've done really well. Obviously, their goals would have been to make the final, as every team's goals are coming into a World Cup. But I think they did really well to get where they are. Aaron Smith's try. Sheesh. The old man rolling back the years, rolling back the clock, makes a line break, the dummy through Goosey into the step, into a dummy, and then goes to score. Everyone thought he was throwing that pass. Even Carreras thought so. Fell for that dummy, and good try there. And I think what the All Blacks did really well is when the game got a bit looser, they were just more clinical. The offloads were sticking. They were not throwing offloads when they didn't have to, really consolidating, building phases. I thought they did really well. What was massive for the All Blacks in this game, because, yes, it kind of, the scoreboard kind of blew out. They had then opportunity to sub players on so they could rotate their squad to give some guys a rest. Sam Cane, like Belden Barrett, give those guys a bit of a rest. Cody Taylor even. So let those other guys come on so that they're fresh for the final. Yes, I thought the RG's forwards did really well. It was tough for them, man, but they did really well. Like I named those, I think it's Gajo or Gallo, the prop, Lavanini when he was still on, and Marcus Kremer did really well at trying to like carrying the ball for them. But that was tough, man. That was really tough. Like I said in the preview, it was gonna be a tough one from the jump. All Blacks were definitely favorites going into this, and I think it was one hill too steep for the Argentinians. But credit to them, credit to their fans. Their fans just kept singing. They're super passionate. You could see in the anthem as well, the players really meant a lot to them. So credit to them, and they really gave it their all. But it was just one step too much for them. The All Blacks just keep going, man. They'll be I think favorites going into the final, no matter who wins in the Springboks England game. All Blacks will be the favorites going into that. I think if we look at the betting odds, they'll be the favorites, man, and they'll grow that extra leg now for the final. All Blacks in a final is tough. They rarely lose. I think the last time they lost in a final was 95 to the Springboks. I hope I'm not just making that up, because I haven't Googled that. I'm just relying on my rugby brain, and I think that's right. So, it's going to be a big one. Hopefully, the All Blacks will meet the Springboks in the final, and man, that'll be a game. But I think that was it, man. Again, a dominant performance from the All Blacks. They just show when it comes to knockout stages, when it matters in World Cups, they get the job done. There'll be a massive week leading into the final. Whether they play England or Springboks, if they play England, they'll be revenging their loss in a semi-final in 2019 World Cup. And if they play South Africa, that's just the rivalry. The rivalry, All Blacks South Africa rivalry forever has been massive. And then the last time they played them in a final, South Africa won in 95. So, man, looking forward to it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the game. Uh, we kind of expected it, man. Dominant performance from the All Blacks. And they all march on. Will they win for the fourth Rugby World Cup? Or will whoever they meet stop them? Who knows? Let me know in the comments, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.